Welcome to Cheers. I'm your host, Avery Woods. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, you know I'm fangirling. Everyone here is fangirling. This is the best time of the year because all of our favorite movie is back on repeat, which is Halloweentown.
You are so sweet. Thank you.
It's kind of incredible how successful this movie still is and how
Truly.
well known it is. Is that insane to you?
Very much so still, yes. I tell people all the time, we were just supposed to do one Halloweentown movie back in the day. Disney Channel was a very new channel. We were like the second or third ever DCOM movie.
Yeah.
And Disney Channel wasn't even in every household yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the first Halloweentown came out, it did really well. But over the years, the way the fans have embraced it and love on it, like that's why we got to do sequels, why they're on Disney Plus now. It's just been amazing to literally just watch it grow and just become this thing that like people share with their families now. It's so cool.
It's an empire. It really is. And I was just telling you, my kids are 6 and 4 now. My son's birthday's on Halloween. So this is the first year I'm showing them Halloweentown, and we're making it a whole event. Like we have a projector. We're going to do it outside and have like cozy little fall snacks. Because I'm like, you guys don't understand what a huge event this is. Because when you grow up watching something every year, the majority of your life, and you get to show it to your kids, it's so special. So I'm so excited for them to see it. But how old were you when you were cast as Marnie?
I was 13 when I did the first one. So, and Marnie was 13. So I really related and almost admired her in a way of like her chutzpah and her like, she was at the heart of those movies is a family of teenagers who are just trying to figure out who they are in life. And I think that's what made them relatable is, you know, underneath all of the supernatural magic that Marnie was 13 and going, well, what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? And stepping into the, you know, direction of her dreams. And I always thought, you know, I admired her for that because I was a little more tentative at 13.
Yeah, I was going to say, where did you grow up? When did you start acting? Like, what did your childhood look like before Halloweentown?
I had been a professional actor since I was about 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, wow.
I started in New York. I was born in Maryland and was just always performing, had several imaginary friends and, you know, would play dress up all the time. And so my parents put me in kind of like a performing arts class as a avenue to get it out kind of thing. And some talent scouts came down from New York and kind of said, well, if she ever wanted to try it, we think she'd be great at it. So my parents decided to try it with me, and we drove back and forth. It was about 4 hours. Beautiful drive, still miss it, on the 95 on the East Coast, but back and forth to New York. And I did some commercials and a music video and stuff. But right when they were like, okay, we've kind of, you know, depleted this amount, you know, what we've saved to try this out, I booked my first Broadway show at Lincoln Center at 7. And it just... I haven't, you know, looked back since in the sense that I can remember being on stage at 7 and looking out and just being like, wow, I want to keep doing this. So I always check in with that feeling, but that's, you know, I knew it at a young age that like, whew, this feels right.
And you're so normal and down to earth and grounded, which is not common, you know, in this industry. It's just not common, especially starting at such a young age. So what do you attribute that to?
My family, it was always important to my family and I to try to maintain some sense of balance in the sense that like I was on sports teams and just always trying to lean into that, you know, the personal aspect of my life and what I wanted to do personally, and always kept checking with me that I was enjoying it and that I never felt, you know, pressure to be in it or anything. And I've certainly had my years. I mean, I took years off. I went to college and like you know, everybody has their kind of flow, I think, in the entertainment industry. Everybody has, you know, years of ups and downs. But yeah, it kind of just naturally flowed like that. And I'm grateful that they kind of always helped try to maintain, I guess, that balance as much as you can in this industry.
Yeah. If for those that aren't familiar with Marnie or Halloweentown, compared to that stage in your life, how would you describe who you are today?
Oh, wow. You know, I've been in this business so long. I'm so proud to be able to reach people with what I do. And I think as I got older, I had to connect to that part of it through all of the ups and downs of the business. And Debbie Reynolds actually, that was one of the things she really impressed upon me without me even realizing it until I got a little bit older. She always made time for her fans, appreciated her fans, knew she wouldn't be anywhere without her fans. She always went to, crowds of fans would gather around sets and to try to see a glimpse of her. And she would always go over with a stack of signed pictures and say hi to them. And she really impressed upon me at that age, like what a gift it is to be able to entertain people and bring them joy. Mm-hmm. So that is like one of my favorite aspects of what I do. And it's, just trying to spread some joy. And, being an adult is hard enough now. And the Halloweentown movies and a lot of stuff that I did for Disney over the years has helped people kind of, get in touch with their inner child. And that's the biggest gift for me.
Yeah. When you were making the movie, especially the first one, because obviously on screen, it just looks so magical, right? When you get into Halloweentown.
Yes.
Did it feel like that, or were you like, this is a set?
It truly did. The town of St. Helens, Oregon is where we filmed the first one, and their town still looks like that. The city hall and everything is intrinsic to their town. That's where their whole council is and everything. So yes, walking through that town, it was not too hard of an acting job that day, really just taking it in, because you did feel like you were in a town that was, loved Halloween every day. And that was a big, I guess, a broader concept at the time, because when I was a kid, like Halloween was about obviously trick-or-treating and like that Halloween the day. But I feel like over the years into my adulthood, I've kind of watched the season kind of expand. I mean, now the decor comes into stores late summer, and it's about, it's a little bit more about the season as a whole. Mm-hmm. And I love that, because like, why not lean into the joy and the wonder of that holiday too?
Yeah. It's funny because I made a joke a couple weeks ago about I always use huge bags as a mom because I can't fit anything in those tiny little bags. And I was like, this is the magic bag that Debbie used in that movie, where it's like the unlimited magic bag where there's like always something pulling out.
I wish we all had a bag like that.
I know.
That bag, it actually too, in talking about the magic of the movies, that the first movie, a lot of that magic was done like in real life, in the sense that we used some computer, all that generation, like with the flying on the broom and everything, but a lot of that magic was done in real time on camera. So, and I think that kind of comes across as far as, I don't know, when you talk about feeling that magic in it, I think because a lot of it was also done like right there.
Oh, I bet. And that's such a fun age too, especially with the other actors that were kids that played your siblings. Like that would be so fun to do that.
Yeah.
When obviously the movie came out, was it immediately successful right away and you were like, oh, wow, this is huge?
It definitely premiered to big numbers, I think. And it was like, oh, cool, people really liked this. And then we also saw, like, every time it would air and stuff, more and more people, it just started to grow. Mm-hmm. And they got such amazing feedback on it and all of that it was so popular they ended up, I think it was a couple years later, saying, like, putting together a Halloweentown II. And we were thrilled to, like, get back together again and not only spend time together, but I think we all like were giddy to kind of, I didn't realize I would grow up with Marnie, but that was so fun. Like I got to kind of revisit her at different stages in her teenage life. And you don't normally get to do that with a movie role. Yeah. So that was really fun.
And also being the same age as her was probably really cool and also relatable. So maybe a little bit easier for you to relate to what she was going through or feeling too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And it was fun to be able to get to spend more one-on-one time with Debbie Reynolds as we did more movies, and like Marnie and Aggie, they really joined up, I think, in the second and third one, as far as it being the two of them going, okay, how do we save the town now? Mm-hmm. And so that really we just got to spend so much time together, and I got to know her as an adult. She was such a great human being. But when we did the first one, she was very respectful because I was the oldest. I was 13, and she didn't let any bad words slip or anything. She was the nice grandma. And then as I got older, she would
Let loose a little
let some
bit.
language slip.
Yeah,
I
I
would
love
tell
it.
some body stories, and it was just, the best.
I was gonna ask because I know you mentioned how connected she was with her fans, and that was kind of a lesson you learned. But what are some of your favorite memories with Debbie Reynolds on set?
She always kept things so light and fun, and I always admired that about her too. When I first heard she was going to play Aggie, I was so excited. You never know going into, a work situation or any situation with somebody in this business of legendary status, how they're going to be. And
Totally.
she could not have been more down to earth and just wanted to have fun, tried to move ladders for the crew. Like she wanted everybody to shine as brightly as they could around her. And it was just a good impression like on me as a young kid. And I had been in the business for a while, but it was so amazing to see somebody that could, for all intents and purposes in the business, could have had the permission in a sense to do whatever she wanted. And she in a sense used that position and that power, if you want to call it that, to help everybody else, to help her peers. And everybody was a peer to her. And I just loved that. And she just was so funny. Like just all of the stories of her life and her career. And I felt like she always wanted to share wisdom through the lessons she learned through trial and error. And just, she could make you just giggle and yeah, just the best.
I love that too, because although you're there for work, obviously everyone there is a paid actor, but you're still a child.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's hard about this industry when you join it so young, is that can really make a huge difference in your life of where your life's going to go, how you turn out.
Yes.
And I love that she was making it fun and enjoyable for you, even though it was your job.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's hard. That's hard to be at that age and work like that. Did you feel, obviously you started acting very young, but did you feel your life shift after Halloweentown became such a huge deal?
That summer was definite. That year, I think we filmed it in 98, if I remember correctly. That was a pivotal year kind of in my life and career. I had been on a soap opera in New York, Guiding Light, for years, and then I basically booked Halloweentown and an independent film called Tumbleweeds back to back. So I had to leave Guiding Light unexpectedly, which had been my home for like the past 5 or so years, and do these 2 films back to back. And Halloweentown started becoming what it was, and then Tumbleweeds the same time was got into Sundance, and Janet McTeer, who played my mom in the movie, got nominated for an Oscar. She won a Golden Globe. I got nominated for an Independent Spirit Award. So it just was like, oh, this is it. Those happened to be those around the same time, and it definitely was. There's just a definite, I guess, more energy that comes in of like, oh, this is, people are watching like this movie on Disney Channel. And then we got to watch that grow. I remember after doing Quince, I think, so I'm guessing it was probably 2000, 2001 or something. They flew a lot of us out to New York because Disney Channel had just gotten signed on to Time Warner Cable on the East Coast.
Oh, that was a huge deal.
Yeah, and we got to go to like Times Square, and it was a bunch of us Disney people like having a fun time at this event. And it was really, it was fun as an actor to kind of, to watch the channel grow and just everything, to kind of be a part of that organically in a sense. So that was so fun, because you don't realize until obviously looking back and you get older that like, oh, these were like instrumental times for these networks or something, and you're a part of just something that you don't get to be a part of all the time, and it really was special.
It was one of the first original Disney Channel movies, right? Halloweentown was.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically as a kid, like watching even the commercials in between shows on Disney Channel and seeing like the iconic advertisements for movies like Halloweentown. And that was when they first started doing the wand and like tracing the Mickey ears, that people just don't understand, like the new generation. I'm sorry, you just don't get it. You're
not alone in feeling that way either, because I talk to fans all the time that just basically I feel like the feedback is it's just not the same, like I'm trying to tell my kids you don't understand, like, And it's such an honor. I could have never imagined, that people would take that feeling with them and then it would mean something to them. It's so wild to me still after all these years that people watch anything I do, and it's
Yeah.
the fact that people still love watching this and making a tradition, their families, it's the biggest honor.
Yeah, it really is such a special movie. What was different on set and filming Halloweentown versus your other projects that you were working on?
It was fun to do something more in the family genre for sure. Like I feel like that's again such more of a common genre done now, obviously, with just so many more places for content and entertainment to be. But that was a newer genre, and I think that was fun to know that I was making something that people of all ages could watch, coming from soaps or different areas where certain audiences watch, that kind of thing. And I knew Disney Channel was a place that parents and families felt good about having their kids watch because commercials and stuff, they watched everything that aired on that channel, and it was a special time. And it was little did we know, again, just how what just that period in time, like how unique that would be.
Yeah. I know you said a lot of the magic was kind of real in real life because the CGI and stuff was not a thing back then.
It wasn't as prominent for sure.
So what's like a funny or fake prop that was completely not real at all? Like how were you behind in front of a green screen when you were flying on a broom?
Yes, a blue screen, but
blue screen.
basically
Okay.
up on a big stool that they put the broom on, and they put it. I always thought it was funny that I think they put a seatbelt on us, which just was funny to me because I was like, is that really okay? But yeah, and you started tilting side to side and front and back, and
the wind's through your hair.
Exactly, the fans are blowing. You can barely hear what you're saying, and you dive in really. But what was unique about the 3 Halloweentown movies is I got to fly with 3 different characters in different ways on the broom.
Yeah.
So that was fun for me. But yeah, it was always in front of a big blue screen and just like the camera flying around, and yeah.
What was the broom, like something 3000 or
the Windsweeper 3000.
Yes.
Very wow.
See,
wow.
I didn't even research that. I just
I'm
knew it because
impressed.
I've seen that movie so much. You're like, so you're a weird fan. Got it.
No, you are an awesome fan. Are you
No,
kidding me?
and like Luke and stuff when he gets all cute, and I was like, oh my God, he's so
So
cute.
who did you ship? Like, did you
Your
like a
husband.
particular person? My husband.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, you did marry Calabar's son. That's
I did.
crazy to me.
I did. Right.
Okay, but you guys like reconnected a lot of years later.
Yes. Yeah, we were friends when we initially filmed it, and then we didn't probably speak for a good 12 years at least. We were social media friends.
Okay.
And then when I first started filming content, original comedy content, like on my YouTube channel and stuff, with some friends from Second City and UCB, I was like, actually, we need a guy. Like, I think the fans might like this so I reached out to him, was like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. How you doing? Blah, blah. Like, and so we started, creating all of that, and just it kind of naturally was like, oh, hey, oh, okay. Like,
am
yeah.
obsessed with this. Like, that is so funny. I can't remember how it came up. Were we talking about this, Jazzy, where we were like, they're married? That is the craziest thing ever.
It's been one of our favorite things, like, because, obviously waited a good beat before we made it public. But the first, I mean, really even post now, there's still people that will come across my social media now and they'll find out for the first time. And it's entertaining to us because, I mean, we get everything from advice of like, watch over your spell books to pure joy, pure, shock. Like it's really great.
Oh, the iconic one, like at the Halloween party where he's holding the books and his
Yes.
like little snake things are coming on, and I was like, oh my God, like I was shocked to my core. And then you grab the books, like you reach in, and I was like, she's so brave.
Oh,
Like
thank
she
you.
really was so brave
Thank
with her
you
magic
so
there.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome. When you guys were filming together, were you like, he's so cute, I have a crush on him, or was it strictly professional?
I didn't. I mean, no, I didn't really have a crush. He's a little bit older than me. He was in a relationship at the time,
okay.
and I didn't really do that kind of stuff in a work. I like to remain professional.
Yeah.
He was so sweet, and we had a great time. And I felt for him coming into such an established cast, and
Yeah.
and he jumped right in, and we all had a good time. So in that way, yeah, that's what made like just this surprise of it even more so, because it really was not, there was no hints to any of that when we worked together.
Yeah. How long have you guys been married now?
We've been married for a little over a year,
Oh my
actually.
gosh,
Yeah, we got married last year.
congratulations.
Thank
How was
you.
your wedding?
It was amazing.
That's
Yeah,
so
it was
fun.
the best.
Were any cast members there?
Judith Hogue, who played my mom,
Oh,
yes,
by the
she
way,
flew in. God
you
love her.
all look incredible,
Thank you.
but
You're very
I saw
kind.
a photo of her and I said, you haven't aged.
She did, right? Like
Like, you were obviously a teenager filming, so
Yes.
obviously you've grown up. You still look incredible.
Thank
But I'm
you. I
like,
feel older, so thank you. I appreciate that.
no, but I'm like, she obviously was an adult filming,
I
playing
know,
your mom,
right?
but I'm like, she looks amazing.
And she's just the best spirit. I think that's what keeps her so young. She's
Yeah.
just so fun. We've just been genuine friends over the years. So
I
yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So tell me about what you're doing now. You have a Hallmark Channel movie coming out.
Yeah, that was out on October 11th. It's called Haul Out the Halloween.
Okay.
It was the third in the Haul Out the Holly series on Hallmark Channel, starring my bestie, Lacey Chabert.
I love that you guys are besties, by the way.
We met in New York. We did Les Mis on Broadway together when I was like 8 years old.
You were in Les Mis at 8?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
That's incredible.
Still probably I shouldn't say probably, is one of my favorite musicals
It's
to
incredible.
this day. It's
Yeah.
just amazing. But yeah, so she started that series celebrating Christmas, of course, for 2 movies, and they've been popular. And it's about a neighborhood who really leans into the decorating spirit. And so Daniel and I play the new neighbors that move into town that we're into Halloween. And they're like, oh, wait a second. Do we? Oh, okay. Maybe we should lean into this. And then the hijinks ensue. But
so you play a married couple in the movie?
We do,
oh,
yes.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it was cool. I didn't realize this until we were kind of talking about it after in interviews, that it was the first time that we got to play a couple that was like on the same team. He was like, yeah, we were nemesis like in Halloweentown II. So it was fun to actually, work and like each other in the movie as well, instead of just having to, tell each other how dare you in every scene,
Yeah. Your husband Daniel, has he been acting his whole life like you have as well?
He started about 19, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, people still remember him from a Lifetime movie called 15 and Pregnant. He played Kirsten Dunst's baby daddy. He was the jerk baby daddy.
Got it.
In that. So that was, I think, one of his first major roles. And then, yeah, he came to LA at 19, which I admire because, I'd been doing it since I was a kid, but I don't know if I would have had the same wherewithal as a late teen like that to go, he's from Oregon, to go, I'm going to move to LA and follow my dreams. That was, yeah. So we have different entrances into it, but yeah.
Was this the first project you guys did together outside of Halloweentown?
Yeah, I guess on that, yeah, another like television project. We, do content online, and we travel and do like conventions and appearances together. But that was the first scripted, okay, now play a couple together. So that was fun.
Speaking of doing content online, I'm actually curious your thought on this because you were a child actor and, up until, I don't know, 8 years ago, social media wasn't really anything.
Yeah.
What is that transition like for you, seeing how much the industry has shifted to a lot of people that grew up as actors or singers or whatever they are in Hollywood, now transitioning to building social media and doing a lot of work online? What is that like for you?
It's very interesting world. That's such a great question because, yeah, I feel like I kind of grew up also part of the generation that kind of knows what it was like to only have a home phone and answering machine at home.
Oh, yeah.
And being like, well, email? What's that?
Yeah.
And then now, you carry around a little computer in your pocket and people expect to reach you like that. So, yeah, social media has been just amazing in the sense that I do think, the DCOMs in general just have such a loyal following in part because of social media, because people can find each other in community on there and share and laugh at memes and all those kinds of things. And it has lent itself to more opportunities and more ways to be creative which is very cool. Like,
Mhm.
you know, especially with YouTube and I mean, just TikTok, all of the things where now you don't have to wait for the perfect professional opportunity. You can create it yourself.
Yeah.
So that is really amazing. It has expanded. I feel like all of the things as a creative you kind of need to be conscious of. You know, you didn't need to necessarily be conscious of like, oh, I need to, you know, I should probably post this on social media so people know it's coming out like
Yeah.
that. You know, you didn't have to be conscious of those kinds of things
Mhm.
back in the day. I sound old, but like it has been interesting to watch. And I feel like there's pros and cons to all of it, but like in the general scheme of things, I do think it's great to have so many more avenues and just resources to be creative in whatever way, you know, that you feel connected to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with other child actors that have said, you know, back when I was on Disney or doing whatever project, not having social media, I didn't hear people's opinions. I didn't see ratings. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't, you know, hate comments weren't a thing. And so they always said when I got to the point where I was on social media, that I would read comments and I was like, whoa, this is what they actually think about me or my projects or any of that. So I also think that's a big shift too for people
Yes.
because if you don't want to go online and look at ratings or look at how a project's doing, you don't have to. But now with social media, it's like you have this unlimited comment section of people's opinions flowing in. It's very different.
Very different. And a lot of times that gives people the freedom, or I don't want to call it bravery because it's
Yeah, keyboard
not, but like,
warriors.
yeah, that like where they feel like they can express themselves because they're, you know, hidden behind a screen. And that's what I constantly try to remind myself because there's always, I feel like, people that, you know, for whatever reason, just feel like they have to kind of contradict whatever's happening in a post.
Yes.
And it's always about them and not you. But it's, yeah, it definitely, I can remember as a teen actor, just like reviews coming out. And, you know, I was a teenager when, or, you know, an older teenager when like the reviews and the consciousness starts looking more at like women's figures and like all of that in the business. And it's just,
Yeah.
that was the first like kind of like, whoa, this is like people kind of watch you on a bigger scale and are suddenly allowed to comment on how you look and things like, so
Yeah.
that was my first, I feel like kind of awareness, you know, and then it's just really kind of, yeah, the technology has expanded itself to now allow everybody to do that if they want to. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also think you were a child actor at the perfect time, though, because I can't imagine being a young teenager and having access to social media or reading those kind of comments and how much that would affect you, you know?
Yes, I do. I feel for the new generation growing up in that.
Mhm.
I talk about that with my friends, and I don't have any kids myself, but a lot of my good friends do, and it is just a different reality for that awareness and that, yeah, like the kids have access to so much more of that now, and it's just a part of their, can be a part of their experience, which is just, life was just a little bit simpler
Yeah.
in that way when we were younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What this is completely off topic and I don't
Mhm.
even have this written down, but I'm so curious. What do you do on Halloween? What's your normal plans on Halloween?
A lot of times I end up, well, my house is already decorated. Like
Love
I've
it.
got, in that way, it's decorated beginning of September. I'm one of those
Yes.
that like
No, me
July
too.
4th, this has been fun,
Yeah.
is summer over. Can we just,
That's me.
I love the fall into winter, the holidays, just all of it. So, but a lot of times over the years now with my friends with kids, I either end up going with Lacey's daughter. A lot of times I love, she gets me into the neighborhood Halloween carnivals. So that's
I
fun.
love it.
Or a lot of times I go up to my family's neighborhood and they're, still giving out candy. So it's kind of leaning back into whatever tradition. Sometimes we'll have a cozy night at home and like watch The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, because that
Okay.
was like my nostalgic TGIF, growing up during the fall. So yeah, it kind of just depends. A lot of times we travel more so during this season at like appearances and stuff.
Yeah.
So we get to spend or really get to, celebrate that spooky vibe with so many, in different places.
Yeah.
So it's fun to come back and kind of, you got to lean into it in some way, whether that's with the little ones or watching something good.
I can imagine you going trick-or-treating or like taking your friend's daughter trick-or-treating and a parent's like, Marnie, what are you doing here?
I used to give out candy in my Marnie outfit.
Oh, that is incredible.
I got the idea from Debbie Reynolds. She told me a few years she put on Aggie's cloak and gave out candy, so I was like, I'm going to do that.
That's so special.
Because she was nice enough, she kind of helped facilitate me keeping Marnie's whole purple cloak outfit from the second one.
You had it?
I do.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was made for me. It was the only one they made. So she was just like, come on, let her,
Yeah.
she should just take it home.
Yeah.
So I used to give out some candy and we did that for a little bit. It was so fun until, people started coming by and knocking on the door other times of the year looking for Marnie. And so we kind of had to take a little step back.
I was going to say, this is like a not at your house situation.
Right.
Yeah, people can't expose your privacy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so
it's
funny.
a fine line. Yeah.
What's the most random fan theory you've ever heard about Halloweentown?
Oh, my goodness. There's all kinds of... Yeah, there's just, I mean, the stories that I've been pitched over the years of just all of the things. Oh boy, it usually has something to do with connecting it with another movie, which is kind of a little bit where they lose me. They kind of fall into some of the darker side of Halloween or and I'm just like, well, I don't think that's where that goes. But I think they all want to talk about like where Cal is and where Calabar is mostly. That's all of the stuff I get. Where do you think he is? Or, he could totally come back. I always get pitches for another one, which is just the best. So it's usually about those two guys. Like, how can we bring them back in some way?
Yeah, I kind of love it because it really is one of the only really magical, not spooky Halloween movies.
Yes.
Like my kids are so young, but I know that it wouldn't freak them out and that they would think it's more magical and special rather than scary.
Exactly. Yes. I for sure. I love that genre so much more now, especially getting older. My nervous system can't handle the jump scares.
I'm the same. It was after I had kids. I was like huge, my husband and I would watch like Conjuring, crazy movies.
That's still
like
one
that.
I haven't seen. But
don't
Halloween
do it.
Horror Nights used to do it. Now
Really?
I can't. I just wouldn't. My nervous system's like, no, maybe a little nap first.
I got in my 30s and I was like, I'm having nightmares. Like this isn't normal.
That did start happening.
Yeah.
Where our subconscious started hanging on to stuff longer and then would bring it up when in our nightmares. Like what? Yeah.
And I'd wake up sweaty and anxious. And I'm like, you are a grown woman. What is going on?
Yes.
So I'll just go back to Halloweentown. I can't do the scary stuff. Which line do fans quote back to you the most?
Halloween is cool. That is the biggest one.
I do have a confession. We are going to make a TikTok using that audio.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Because I saw it and I said, when you sitting up on the couch, Halloween is cool. Like
that was not the one that I would have expected.
Really?
People started coming up on the street and literally being, say it. And I'm like, and then I started realizing what that was. Because, there's so many great, being normal is vastly overrated. Aggie's line, that's such a great one.
Yes.
My personal favorite is magic is really very simple. All you have to do is want something and then let yourself have it. I just think that's so apropos for life. That's such a good one. She says it on the broom as we're flying, too.
I got the goosebumps. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so outside of acting, what's been bringing you some joy lately?
I love going on hikes. That's any time spent in nature is just a favorite of mine. Daniel and I love good movies and TV shows.
What's been your favorites right now?
I'm trying to think. I'm excited. Diplomat is coming back soon with Carrie Russell. I got to see what happens.
Oh, I got to write that down. I haven't seen it.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You would love it. It's such a great, edgier seat. Everybody's so great on the show. And now, it left on such a cliffhanger that it's now, she and Allison Janney are just going to F some shit up the next season. So it's exciting.
I love it.
We do a little bit of everything. I got Daniel hooked on Reba, which is one of the
Incredible.
best sitcoms
Yeah,
ever.
really
Thank you,
ever.
Netflix, for
Yeah.
giving us all some comfort that we need. I had just grown up loving that show. Melissa Peterman, who played Barbara Jean on that show, is in Haul Out the Halloween.
Oh,
And
fun.
I just was just fangirling that I got to like be in a scene and say lines with her that I told my husband. I was like, no, you don't understand. So we're on season 5 now because he
Oh, I
has
love
become like
it.
as sucked in as I have. So I'm like, my job is done. He's gotten to
Yeah.
feel the goodness that is the OG Reba sitcom.
Listen, men can lie all they want that they don't want to watch a girly sitcom, but the second that they watch one episode, they're sucked in. That's like if
Yes.
I'm watching anything and my husband's like, I'm not watching that. He's in the kitchen. He's like, wait, what did she say? I said, you can either come sit down and watch it with
Right.
me
Yeah.
or
You're gonna be okay.
I'm
Yeah,
like, stop
yeah.
complaining. Wait, that's really fun. Okay, any movies recently that you've seen that you love?
Let's see. I've been diving back into some movies I hadn't seen. So like ones that I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I hadn't seen, like, classics. Footloose was one recently I hadn't seen yet.
Great movie.
Field of Dreams, that was a great movie.
That's
like
a great
leaning
movie.
into some good, some of the OGs with like Kevin Costner and like Mel Gibson.
Yes.
My husband loves Mel Gibson. Like I still haven't seen Lethal Weapon. That's on the list. So I'm
Okay.
trying to go through some good classics that I didn't see for whatever the reason. And The Bodyguard, that was one of my favorites watched recently. So yeah, we've been kind of on that trek recently.
Do you feel like you missed out on anything in your childhood working so young?
No, because I truly loved it so much, and I felt happier, and I felt like I was thriving on a set. And I think deep down somewhere, I just knew that. I don't, like I just felt like I was in the right place. But when I would have weekends where I would go play basketball in my local community league and those kinds of things, those were equally as balancing to me. So I really appreciate that I was able to grow up in that way. And it is a different lifestyle and a different reality for kids. But I really loved it. I couldn't imagine, my life without it, because it really was something that I felt like I was just, fitting in the right place ever since I was little.
Yeah, and good on your parents too for, keeping you grounded and making sure that you were part of normalcy.
Yes, I always appreciated that. Yeah, and just kind of, always being like, okay, well, if, you wake up one day and this doesn't feel that same, like, let us know, because we'll just, we'll go and, just go get ice cream and do so, like it just wasn't in that light. And that was amazing.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, what's something that most people don't know about you that you wish that they had?
Oh, goodness. Well, I know a lot of people know me primarily for surrounding the Halloween holiday, but Christmas is also just equally, if not maybe just a little bit up on top of Halloween, I gotta say. Like, but I think that's why, like I mentioned earlier, the decor for Halloween and stuff coming out sooner, like that I've enjoyed that, because it's just, I'm one that decorates for Christmas before Thanksgiving, and I love that holiday too.
Me too.
So yeah,
it's so fun.
I know a lot of times people probably want to hear, like, Halloween is number one, but like
plug your ears, everyone.
Yes, exactly. But I think it's really all that, just the last quarter of the year too. It's just always, because you kind of, life slows down a little bit. You theoretically, hopefully, are able to spend more time, with family and friends and that kind of thing. So I think it's all about that,
chilly,
that exactly.
cozy fire.
Yeah, give me a cozy hoodie.
Oh, don't
and
get me started.
Like a spicy latte any day.
Oh, yeah.
Curl up next to a fire. Like, that's.
Usually I'm in sweats. I did put jeans on for you today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I really appreciate
you're
that.
a huge deal. So I had to put jeans on. Jazzy
I
was like,
put jeans on today too. I was
Thank
like,
you.
there is something about
Your
like,
boots are very Marnie though.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm
comfy.
obsessed with them.
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's very on brand for you.
Thank you.
So how long you leaving that Christmas tree up then?
Oh, well,
What's
I
your
mean,
rule of thumb with that?
it usually after the new year,
Okay,
it kind of Yeah, it's kind of, I just get that like, okay, yeah, it's January. I have a hard time. It kind of, maybe it's like I need to help myself move forward, So
Yeah.
it's like, let's not keep
Mourn the
looking at this
holiday.
thing. Yeah, let's just get it. Yeah, we need to put it away so we can, talk ourselves through the next 2 weeks of January and tell
Yeah.
ourselves it's going to be okay.
I know, because then people start looking at you like, oh, you're one of those people.
Right.
That's like a
I
year-rounder
know.
Christmas tree. And I'm like, what do you want to kill my magic for?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, we like to end with rapid fire. We have some pretty good questions for you.
Okay.
Are you
all right.
ready?
Yep.
Okay. Favorite Halloween candy?
Candy corn.
But the pumpkin or the triangles?
Well, pumpkins,
the
I guess.
pumpkins are
you
the
just,
best.
You just
I know.
get that full hit right there. Sugar
Yeah.
rush.
We have a jar of that on my counter, and I can like hear my kids' hands like rummaging in it. And they're like, can I have 4 pumpkins? I'm like, okay, yes, you can have your 4 pumpkins for your dessert. And then my daughter's like, what about 6? I'm like, no, this isn't a negotiation.
I like that she's trying, though. Like she's got to see where the limits lie.
And she's only
then back
4.
up from there.
Yeah, I'm scared of her.
Yeah, you got a smart one there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about her. Okay. Best Halloween costume you've ever worn on or off screen?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of hard not to say Marnie's costume.
I was going to say the one you just talked about.
Who knew how, what a thing that would become
Iconic.
in my life. So I think I got to probably give it to that one. I do remember when I was younger, I made my own princess hat out of tinfoil. And I did some things, when I was younger, some crafting that I was pretty proud of as a kid. But I think we got to go with Marnie on this one.
Yeah, even in the first one, when she has the cape around
I
her.
wish I had taken that cloak
that
home in
cloak,
retrospect. Oh,
and she's like reaching down in the jack-o'-lantern to try to put what's it called?
The talisman.
Talisman. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, so classic.
Our big beautiful pumpkin.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I'm like, don't hit her in the back. No. I'm like screaming at the TV. Okay. Scariest movie you actually like to watch?
The first one that pops into mind, it's not quite as scary, I guess more suspense, but it's called Identity with John Cusack and Amanda Peet. And it was kind of, it's got a lot of suspense and like some shit happens, like, but it's not quite like on the horror, like we just want to scare you thing. It's got some more suspense and like that one has always been one of my favorites.
I'm going to write that down.
Okay.
Okay. If Halloweentown characters were on The Bachelor, who gets the first impression rose?
Who would get the first impression rose?
I'm like, your husband?
Yeah, well, he would be grabbing for it first. Yeah. He would be expecting it first.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that is mine.
That's true.
And he would know just what to say probably to get the first impression rose. I like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Cal doesn't mess around.
We respect it.
Yeah, we respect his game. Yeah.
If you had to live in Halloweentown full time, which character would you actually want as a roommate? The clean guy that all his stuff gets lost when you set it down.
Oh, Gort. When
he gets gray though.
Yes, yeah, he was much more organized then. I did love him. One of my other favorite characters was Natalie, the pink troll from Halloweentown High.
Oh,
I was like, man, if I could just jump into a costume like that, another kid, like that's what she had. Pink hair and the little belly with the belly button. I mean, I loved her. Yeah, so that. Yes, probably Natalie.
That's like the original before the animated Trolls came out.
Yes.
The young kids wouldn't understand.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
They wouldn't get
it's
it.
True.
Who would win in a duel, Marnie or Harry Potter?
Oh, come on. That's a hard one. I feel like maybe they wouldn't. I don't know if I could name a winner. I feel like they would try to Harry and Marnie would probably like try to find some kind of compromise together.
Yeah,
you know
they're
what
both
I mean?
good guys.
They would be like, this is what everybody expects for me to just, but we're gonna do something good with it. I don't know. I think they're both too powerful not to.
And
I feel
too
like.
Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're actually kind wizards and witches.
Yeah.
Okay. Haunted houses. Are you running through screaming or are you walking through like it's casual? Are you into that?
I think I'm kind of running through. Yeah, again, with the whole nervous system thing, maybe not even screaming, just kind of like holding on tight, just bolting. I don't know if that would be my first entrance, first place I would go to in Halloween getting a little bit older. I'll stand on the outside and welcome everybody and say, have a great time. I'll stay safe out here. You have a good time. You know?
Yeah, I went. My parents tell me why. I sometimes I look back to stuff that my parents allowed me to do as a parent now, and I'm like, wow. Do you know the Wax Museum
Yes.
in Vegas? They had a haunted house wax museum, but
Oh my
like actual
gosh.
live actors that could touch you. And
Oh.
I was very young. They had
Mm-hmm.
to shut the entire thing down and turn all the lights on because I was so
Oh
scared.
no.
And the actor's like, "We're sorry." And I'm like, "Don't touch me," because they were all dressed up like terrifying. So now I'll
I'm
never go
sure.
through a haunted house again.
I can see why. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
I'm like, let me unload my childhood trauma on
Yeah,
you
no,
over
hey.
here. Okay, well, it was such a joy to have you here and get to know you. I'm honestly honored to be in your presence because I did grow up watching you and everything you did. And I cannot wait to show my kids Halloweentown
You are so sweet.
in the
Thank you.
next
Make me
couple
feel so
weeks.
good coming to talk about this. Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
sweet of you to have me. And like I said, I'm honored that people still spend the season with us and with the movies. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope people to continue to enjoy it because I think, now more than ever, we need to just lean into anything that brings us
Yes.
comfort and,
Yeah.
and so I'm so thankful that people still enjoy it. And Debbie she just would love it. Like she would get the biggest kick that like people still enjoy watching the movie. So I think
Yeah.
she's having the biggest grin
Yeah.
up there.
So
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
Where can people find you and when can they watch your movie?
You're so sweet. Official KJB is my username on all the platforms. And Haul Out the Halloween is out October 11th on Hallmark Channel and on their app Hallmark Plus after that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, everyone.